Hi friends, it's Mrs. Beale. Today I'm going to read to you the story Farm by Elisha Cooper. Elisha Cooper was the person who came up with the idea and wrote the words. So that means that his job was the author, right? He wrote the story, he was the author. But if you look, his name is the only name on the front of the book. That means he had another job with this book. When you're writing a book and you want to share your ideas, the first thing you do is come up with your idea. Then you write words to share your idea. But what else could you do? What else could you add to your book to help the reader understand what you're talking about? That's right, you draw some pictures. Elisha Cooper created the pictures for this story also. That means that not only was he the author, but he was also the illustrator. To illustrate this story, Elisha Cooper used watercolors, just like we've used in our classroom before. Let's take a picture walk at some of his illustrations and see what is it that he's trying to tell us in the story. Okay. Farm by Elisha Cooper. Oh, I see some people. Just 4 people. Oh, look at all of those things. Do you recognize any of them? Do you know what they are? Here, I see some houses and buildings. Look at these strange buildings. They're shaped like cylinders with cones on top. Those don't look like houses. I wonder what they are. And off in the distance, it looks like, oh, there's another barn and some more houses. Maybe there's another farm nearby. We see the tractor working. There's the big red barn. I wonder what lives in the barn. I see some cats. Oh, look at that beautiful rooster. That's just like the one on the front. Oh, look, the field has changed now. It's not all brown and plain dirt. It looks like there's something growing on the farm. I wonder what it is. Oh, there's a town. Now, what is a town doing in a story about a farm? I wonder. Oh, but look, there's some more of those silos, just like on the farm. Uh-oh. We're going to hear something about a stinky skunk. And it's nighttime now. I wonder, do farmers work at night? Oh, look. Now the fields are completely covered in green. Looks like this farm is changing. I see some cows lying under a tree. Some hay bales in the barn. Uh-oh. Now look at the fields. Where did all the crops go? What happened? Let's read and find out what's happening in the story Farm by Elisha Cooper. F-A-R-M. Those are the letters that spell the word farm. Take a farmer, another farmer, a boy, and a girl. Add a house, 2 barns, 4 silos, some sheds, 3 tractors, some trucks, a few farmhands. Farmhands are people who work on the farm and help the farmer. And plenty of equipment. Then cattle, chickens, countless cats, a dog. Put them all together, and what do you have? A farm. Fields lie underneath the farm. The fields are flat, stretching as far as the eye can see. There are no hills on this farm. Clouds race overhead, almost touching the fields below. Early in the spring, the fields are bare dirt. A tractor rumbles back and forth. Inside the tractor, the farmer drinks coffee and listens to weather reports on the radio. Every once in a while, he turns in his seat to check the tiller behind him. The tiller turns the soil, preparing it for planting. Dirt pops into the air and the fields change from the color of light milk chocolate to the color of dark chocolate. The tractor stops. The farmer stares at the engine. Uh-oh, what do you think has happened? Why did the tractor just stop? Maybe it's broken down. He calls a neighbor on his cell phone. A neighbor brings a new part, and together they fix the tractor. Then it starts to rain. The tractor stops again. March is a mud month, and weather must be dry for tilling. The farmer will have to wait. Weather can't be fixed. March. That was the last month that we were together in school. In April, the mornings grow lighter. Before school, the girl feeds the cattle, and the boy feeds the chicken. Morning chores would be better if they didn't happen every morning. Can you imagine doing all of those chores before you came to school? They're very hard workers. After school, the girl and boy plant tomato, carrot, green bean seeds in the garden. They plant sweet corn, the kind that people eat. Some chores don't seem like chores. Why do you think those chores didn't seem like chores? What might make chores seem better? Do you think they're having fun planting those seeds? Have you ever planted seeds in a garden or outside of your house? You're right, it is fun. The farmer plants feed corn, the kind the animals eat. The tractor pulls a planter that drops seeds into the soil in long, straight rows. The planter looks like a big green beetle. Can you see this beetle down here? Look at the way its legs stick out and bend. And look at the planter, the way the arms stick out and bend upwards. Looks a lot like a beetle, don't you think? The day is warm. The barn doors stay open. The barn smells of hay and manure and engine grease. It smells of dust. Dust covers everything. Shovels and buckets, swallow nests and spider webs, a toy tractor, a chair with 3 legs, the handprints of the girl and the boy on the concrete floor. Even the barn cats are dusty. Some of the barn cats have names. Some don't. This is Oreo. She's black and white. She's sweet and good at catching mice. There's Claw. He's always scratching something. The dog, other cats, the barn. Fern has a purr bigger than she is and a tail she wraps around the legs of anyone who walks past. What do you think that means, a purr bigger than she is? Can you make a purring sound? A purr bigger than she is. I think that means that it's really loud. Do you? Martha S. is constantly cleaning herself with her tongue. She's very clean for a barn cat. The dog is named Homer. Homer stays outside most of the time. His job is to guard the farm. That means he watches over it. Bear won't let anyone touch her. She just had kittens and hides them in the hayloft. Cats can look after themselves. That means they can take care of themselves. Homer and Fern are friends. She sheds when she leans on him. Her hair rubs off. Together they walk around the barnyard and keep things in order. Homer spends the rest of his days waiting for the farmer to come in from the fields. Sometimes, when he's bored, oh my goodness, listen to this, he bounces the chickens. Oh, I don't think the chickens would like that, do you? The chickens scurry around the barnyard, avoiding Homer. The roosters strut behind the hens, looking important. One rooster is named Breakfast. That's pretty funny. The other one is named Biggie. The hens don't have names. The cattle, or the cows, don't have names either. They have number tags in their ears, sandpaper-like tongues, and dark eyes with long lashes. Look at all the beautiful colors Elijah Cooper put into this rooster. When the animals are not eating or sleeping or grooming, they're deep in thought, or so it seems. Breakfast and Biggie tilt their heads and look curious. Claw studies the barn wall. The cattle stare into space and chew their cuds. Their cuds are the mouthfuls of grass or hay. What are they thinking? What are they dreaming? Who knows? They think their own thoughts. What do you think a cow or a rooster thinks about? Tell your grown-up. What do you think a cow thinks about? Everything grows in the month of May. The corn shoots up as high as the girl's knee. That means it's growing. The rows look like wet hair just after it's combed. The farmer combs the rows with the tractor, spraying fertilizer and pesticide. Fertilizer helps the plants to grow strong. It's kind of like food for the plants. Pesticide kills the bugs that want to eat the plants. Then the rows grow together and the fields become an ocean of green. The farms are like islands on the ocean, and the tractors are like boats. Can you see the tractor there in the field? It's almost like it's floating on the green ocean. At the edge of the field, the butterflies bounce. In the garden, bees zoom from bud to bud. The girl steps on a bee. Ouch! The boy gets bit by mosquitoes. Ugh! The cats swallow grasshoppers and hack them back up. At night, everyone itches. The land heats up and the farm is rich with smells. The smell changes depending on which way the wind is blowing. To the west is a hog farm. No one likes it when the wind blows from that direction. A hog farm raises pigs, and pigs can be very smelly. To the north is a farm with fields of alfalfa. Cut hay smells like summer. To the east is a farm that put up a cell phone tower. The tower doesn't smell like anything. To the south are more farms with cornfields, which smell sort of buttery. Beyond them is the town. Can you see it way in the background? Beyond the farms? There it is. The work of planting is done, and things slow down. The farmer drives into town to get a spare part for the tractor. School is out for the summer, so the girl and boy come too. They stop for hamburgers. They stop for a milkshake. Think about getting hamburgers and milkshakes at our Rains Reef in the town of Berlin, where we live. Doesn't our town look a little bit like this with the old brick buildings? On the way home, the farmer pulls over and talks to a neighbor about crop prices and vacation plans. Out the open window, a water sprinkler says, think, 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 think. June is a sweet month. Other animals enjoy June too. Breakfast takes a dust bath. A dust bath? What do you think your mommy would say if you took a dust bath? Would you be very clean? Homer steals green beans from the garden. The cattle mosey around and poop. Plip, plop, plop. Claw scratches himself. Bear plays with a snake and then eats it. Some animals enjoy June more than others. I didn't know cats ate snakes. At dusk, that means when it's starting to get dark, wild animals come out. Oh, look at that skunk. That's what the skunk that sprayed Daisy looked like. Do you remember my story after New Year's about Daisy getting sprayed by a skunk? That was no fun. At dusk, wild animals come out. Rabbits nibble through the gardens. Chipmunks skitter over the road. Pheasants stalk amongst the corn. An unseen fox cries. Homer howls. A dog from the farm across the way barks back. Oh, it's night. On the farm, even when it's dark, some animals are always awake. Look at the way he painted every bit of that page so that it looked like a wide, dark sky. The day grows humid. It's like kind of hot and sticky. The cattle lie down. They know first. Thunderhead clouds gathering at one end of the land. The temperature drops. Birds dart for cover. The farmer rushes to get things inside. What's about to happen? That's right, a thunderstorm is coming. A drop, plip, plop, another, whoosh. Sheets of water sweep the farm, hammering roofs and rattling windows. And then it's over. The corn all bends in one direction, as if to say, the storm went that way. Oh, look at the farm now. Look at all the green in the fields. You can't see any dirt anymore. After a storm, the farm swells with sound. The corn rustles in the wind. The cattle bellow. A tractor echoes in and out. Birds quarrel and bugs hum. The hum is constant. Even the clouds seem to make a noise as they bump across the sky. For a quiet place, the farm is not so quiet. July is for exploring. The girl wanders to the creek with Homer. What's she gonna do down there? Can you tell by looking at the illustrations? What do you think that is in her hand? She's going down to the creek? That's right, she's going fishing. The girl wanders down to the creek with Homer and tries to catch a catfish. The boy tries to play with the cats, but they're not interested. So he heads to a neighbor's farm. Other people's places are always more exciting. Did you ever feel like that? When you go over to a friend's house, it seems like their house is always much more fun. Their toys are so much neater than yours. The boy feels that way too about the farm animals. The farmer drives the boy and girl into town where they sell sweet corn from the back of the truck. Oh, so all that corn they're growing, they're selling some. The girl picks more corn for dinner. Oh, they're keeping some for themselves. She collects eggs, and when she shucks the ears of corn, they squeak. Shucking corn is when you peel off the outside husks to get to the sweet, yummy yellow kernels inside. The boy picks tomatoes, carrots, and beans. He throws tomatoes at birds until the farmer tells him to stop. A delivery truck stops. Claw, the cat, climbs inside before the boy shoos him out. The truck brought an ice cream maker. July is a good month for eating. August. August is the hottest month. It's so steamy the horizon shimmers. Everyone goes looking for shade. The boy heads into the hayloft and builds forts in the bales where he can hide. Homer slinks into the barn and lies on the cool concrete. The cats are nowhere to be found. The chickens have disappeared too. Where do you think they went to get out of the heat? The cattle huddle under the trees by the creek. They swat flies from each other's noses with their tails. The girl reads on the swing until the sun finds her. She heads into the fields, discovering shade under a roof of corn. Oh, that reminds me of a story that we read before. What other story did we read where the kids were playing inside of plants and there was a roof made of plants over their heads? That's right, sunflower house. But instead of a sunflower house, she's in a corn fort. With summer's end, cooler weather comes to the farm. Oh, look at the fields. They're all yellow now. The evenings grow short, and the corn rises above the farmer's head. It's gotten very tall. The farms are disappearing under a rising ocean of corn. Look, you can only see half of the house and the barn and the silos because the corn is so tall now. The boy and girl start school. We'll be starting school again in September too. New classes, new friends. One morning, the farmer tells them that one of the roosters is missing. Oh no, did a fox get it? September shows that some things are not forever. October is harvest time. That means it's time to collect the crops. It's time to harvest the corn. The combine harvester is as big as a barn and as loud as a factory. It roars through the field, gobbling up 8 rows of corn at a time. It bites at the stalks, pulls them into its mouth, and separates the kernels from the cob in the thresher inside its belly. It burps out husks, and once full, the combine spits a stream of corn into the waiting wagons and trucks. Can you see the corn pouring out of the combine and into the trucks? Have you ever seen something like that happen near your house? We have lots of cornfields around here. Sometimes, to save time, the combine fills the wagons as they drive through the fields. Birds whirl behind the chaff, eating insects. The farmer checks the corn's yield on his computer, talks with other farmers on his cell phone, and eats a sandwich. Farmers use computers inside their tractors. Wagons and trucks drive to the silos and dump the corn into the pit. The corn shoots through the auger and into the silo. Kernels rattle against the silo's metal sides like someone typing very loud and fast. The silo fills up. So that's what those buildings were. The cylinder buildings with the cones on top are called silos. They hold the corn after it's harvested. Corn is everywhere, drifting across the silos, spilling out of the wagons, and scattering on the ground. The boy helps the farmer shovel it up. After drying for a month, the corn will be hauled into the town's grain elevators, loaded on railroad cars and barges, and sent all over the world to be made into food. So all that corn that was in their fields has been harvested. November breaks cold and clear. The cats grow winter coats and the chickens stay indoors. The cattle are sent to market. In the barn, the farmer drinks coffee and works on a tractor. The girl is not around as much, thinking about other things. Homer sits on the porch waiting for her to come home. Leaves scatter over the farm. The fields are dirt again, ready for next year. In the evening, geese fly over the fields. An autumn rain falls. And as the seasons of the farm turn, water seeps into the earth. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed the story Farm. Since today's story was pretty long, there is no literacy activity to do today afterwards. But do talk to your family, somebody at home, about what you heard. What happened on the farm? How did the farm change? What did the farm grow? Who lived on the farm? What animals lived on the farm? Talk to your home teacher about your favorite part of the story, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.